Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Continuing to see sunny conditions out there this morning with cold and slightly breezy conditions as well. Seeing those temperatures climbing into the upper 20s at this time and seeing those peak gusts up and just below our wind advisory criteria. So not currently in a wind advisory, but we will see a chance of that as we move through the working hours today. Let's take a look at the current surface analysis boundary that pushed through the area last night well to our south. Still seeing that tight pressure gradient over the local area as this area of high pressure off to the west gradually builds into our area. So that tighter pressure gradient is going to keep those slightly breezy winds through the area today, but we'll see those start to subside as we move into the evening time frame. If we look at the upper level winds from this morning, sounding northwesterly to northerly winds through the lowest 20,000 feet, and then seeing those winds more westerly as we get above 20,000 feet. Our peak wind today is 116 knots at 25,000 feet. The freezing level this morning was at the surface. If we take a look at the current visible satellite, we can see those clear skies across the area, still seeing some snow cover across the peninsula, mainly points north and across the central part of the peninsula, and expecting that sky coverage to continue as we move through the day and into the evening. We'll start to see a few high clouds moving in ahead of a weak clipper system pushing through the area as we get into our day tomorrow. If we look at the short-term high-resolution model, again, dry conditions expected today. We keep the semi-tight pressure gradient over the area through the daytime hours, bringing those slightly breezy conditions, and we'll start to see that pressure gradient weaken as we go into the evening, continuing with dry and mostly clear conditions, and then moving into the day for Thursday. Again, expecting a few high clouds around as a weak clipper system moves through just to the north of the local area. Will just bring the addition of some cloudiness into our local area, becoming mostly cloudy through the day on Thursday. We'll see a very slight chance of maybe a few light flurries across the region, but not expecting any significant impacts with that. That clipper system moves out of the area as we go into Friday. Once again, we'll be back into mostly sunny conditions, and we'll see temperatures moderate slightly, becoming a bit more seasonable, but still chilly as we move through the end of the week. We zoom out and look at the longer term forecast here. We'll see our next significant rain chance will move into the area as we get into Saturday, with the upper level trough digging into the region and an area of low pressure tracking along the coast. With that, looks like a good chance of seeing some rain pushing through as we get into the PM time frame of Saturday, and then we'll see that pulling out as we go into Sunday, with some cooler air starting to move into the area, becoming fairly cold. Other models indicating, as you can see here, a secondary area of low pressure developing off the coast and moving along that frontal boundary as we move through the day Sunday. As you can see here, GFS model does show some light snow on the north side of that, as well as some light precip. GFS is a bit underdoing what the European picture is showing. So still some spread in the modeling with this potential for a secondary area of low pressure. It does look like we'll have a chance for some precip Sunday evening, with maybe even a chance for some snow mixing in with that rain. But then that will pull out as we go into Monday and Tuesday, and we'll really start to see some cold air setting in, moving into the beginning of next week as this upper level trough digs in over the area with quite low thickness values, indicating that cold air in over the area as high pressure keeps things quiet as we move through the first portion of next week. So if we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, keeping a yellow risk through our working hours today for those winds at or above 25 knots. Do expect those peak gusts up around 24 knots as we move through the day, generally out of the west, northwest to northwest. And that's going to keep our temperatures cooler, with a high temperature struggling to get above freezing, expecting our high to briefly cap around 33 degrees this afternoon. We do have a yellow risk for those wind chills below 10 as we move through the morning hours, with those breezy conditions and chilly temperatures. Again, mostly sunny skies expected through the day today. We'll have a chance of a few clouds around 2,000 to 3,000 feet before continuing to clear skies as we go into the evening. We'll see those winds lightening up, and light winds, clear skies, going to allow those temperatures to cool down to 18 degrees for our morning low. And we once again pick up a yellow risk for wind chill values below 10 as though we do not see much in the way of winds expected, but with those low temperatures, it doesn't take much to cool those wind chills down into the teens. Tides right now running half of a foot above normal. And Thursday again, that Clipper system moves through, mainly bringing some cloud cover, so we'll see partly to mostly cloudy conditions. We'll see our high of 38 degrees. Again, very slight chance, maybe a few flurries around the area, but nothing very impactful. We'll be back down to a seasonable low of 28 degrees, about average for this time of year, for Friday morning, and a seasonable high of 42 degrees for Friday afternoon. Mostly sunny conditions overall. Could see a slight breeze through today as well, but overall fairly quiet weather day. Moving into the weekend, we pick up that chance for some rain activity moving through the area, mainly as we get into the PM time frame on Saturday. Looks to be about a 70% chance of that, with that upper level trough and coastal low moving through the area, so looking fairly likely at this time. We'll see some milder conditions as we move through the weekend, looking at getting into the upper 40s as we move through today, Saturday, and back down to the mid 40s as we move into Sunday. And then about 30% chance of precip for the PM time frame on Sunday, with that potential of a secondary area of low pressure developing along that boundary. Again, looks like it will bring some rain activity possibly through the area, and maybe some snow mixing in with that. A little bit uncertain at this time given the low percentage here. So moving into the start of next week, we're looking at breezy and cold conditions behind those two systems, with very cold air moving into the area, likely the coldest we've seen so far this year. We'll see a high of 34 for Monday with breezy conditions, but then looking at a high into just the 20s for Tuesday, with slightly breezy conditions continuing for Tuesday as well. We'll see those low temperatures back down into the teens for our Tuesday morning. So looking at very cold temperatures moving into the middle of next week. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.